Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are making Makronsnitter, and they're actually my favorite type of snitter. Snitter in Danish basically just means like bars, so you might know himbærsnitter, which are raspberry bars. These are pretty similar, but they're like a step up because they have this layer of egg white marzipan meringue on top that's like crispy but sweet and tastes like almond. It's so delicious. You have to try them. Let's make them. To start, we're making homemade marzipan. Combine almond flour with powdered sugar, then mix in a bit of egg white or water to bring it all together. Knead this into a soft, smooth dough. If it's sticky, add more almond flour and refrigerate it until you're ready to use it. Next, let's make a quick raspberry jam. Making it homemade is definitely worth it in this recipe, as I find it adds a much sharper raspberry flavor than store-bought jam. Combine raspberries, frozen or fresh, with sugar, a pinch of salt, and a splash of lemon juice. Simmer until it thickens and gets glossy, and then let it cool completely in the fridge. This adds a beautiful tart raspberry layer to our bars. For the pastry base, mix flour, powdered sugar, and a pinch of salt, then cut in the cold butter until it resembles sand. Do this by pressing it between your fingers and crumbling it into the flour and powdered sugar mixture over and over again. Then it's time to add the wet ingredients, which in this case are egg yolks and vanilla. Bring this together into a dough, trying not to overwork it, which is easier said than done because you definitely need to get your hands in there to soften the butter a bit and get the dough into a cohesive dough rather than just a crumbly mess. Wrap it in plastic and chill for at least 30 minutes so that it holds its shape when baked. Once it's chilled, roll the dough into a rectangle to fit on your baking sheet. I like to do this between two pieces of parchment paper to make things a bit easier. Trim the edges so that it fits on your baking sheet and then prick the surface with a fork to prevent puffing. Bake at 350 Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius for about 25 minutes until it's lightly golden. While the base is baking, grate the marzipan and then mix it together with powdered sugar and egg whites. This is the topping that will turn into a nice crunchy meringue on top. Once the base is baked and is still warm, spread over the homemade jam, then add that marzipan topping. You can just spread it out, or you can also swirl it gently for a marbled effect. You won't necessarily be able to see this because it turns golden in the oven, but it still looks kind of cool. Then pop it back in the oven for about 20 minutes until the top is golden and crisp. Let it cool and then slice it carefully into bars. You can go big or small with these. They do pack a punch in terms of flavor and sweetness, but honestly, they're addicting. They're rich, buttery, fruity, and just the right amount of chewy. The topping, it gives this delicious almond flavor that works so well with the raspberry jam in the middle. Perfect for treats throughout the week or to make for a gathering. The layers are the best part, and I'm really happy with how these ones turned out. Sometimes I make the short crust base a bit thinner than this, but I quite like it like this. They're a bit like sturdier, easier to hold. Because the raspberry jam is homemade, you can really taste the raspberry, and it's not too sweet either. So I would definitely recommend that. But anyway, let us know if you try out this recipe. It's linked in the description below, and of course remember to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos, and of course give us a like if you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!